Hello students. So welcome to our session 3. In that session we have to see what are the structural elements in the Revit structure. Basically the structures are in our building or we need to draw or we need to plan in our Revit structure design. So what is a Revit structure or what are the structural elements that Revit structure provides? There is a basically a tool set for designing and documenting the structural components of a building. Structural components of building includes footing, column, beam, slab, etc. That is so in a Revit structure there is a special documentation and designing for that components. So this presentation will explore the key structural elements that can be modeled and analyzed within the Revit platform. Means in that session we have to see that which types of different types of structural elements we need to draw and analyze and model in our structure. So here one first our structural element is beam. So in Revit provides our selection of beams. Means what? Revit offers a wide range of beam types. Means different types of beam types is available in a Revit, just like a steel beam as well as the concrete beam. We have available of different sizes, customizable profile, and if we need to draw some else, then we have a family annotation family where we can edit or draw beams placement. So Revit provides a placement along with the grid lines. Means if you are drawing one beam and you just select to all the grids, the beams are provided between all the beams, between all the grids or between the columns, or in a specific elevation we can add the beams. And after that, third one is the editing means what? Like you can change the size, material, connection as per your requirement that Revit structure is providing us. Next component is column. Column means what? Column is a vertical element of a structure which can transfer the load from the beam to footing. So placement of columns are just like a beam. We can placement the column on the grid lines or on the locations where we want. In Revit, columns are also available in the steel column as well as concrete column. Also, we can change the material of column just like a concrete, timber, steel, or depending upon our design requirements. If you are working for the steel structure, you can draw a steel beams, steel columns. And if you are working for the concrete structure, you can draw a concrete columns. Editing. Just like beam, we can edit the columns as per our sizes, requirements, and the connections, as well as you can make a new family of the column. Next building component is a wall. Structural walls like not load bearing walls, like in modern structure we are using the frame structure, but in our olden times we using the load bearing structure. In load bearing structure is a wall is a bearing component or load bearing component of the structure. I mean there is no availability of the column, beams, or any kind of structural element. We can transfer the whole load from the upside to downside by the walls. So there are different types of walls than Revit can us provide, just like a structural walls which we use for the stability of the building structure. Curtain walls means non-structural walls. In metro cities you have seen that glass type walls are available, that they are called as a curtain walls. Just they are using for the exterior opening like a cladding, or it allows a natural light and open floor plans. After that, partition walls means for the flexibility in a layout we can use the partition walls. As you know, the partition name itself indicates that between the two rooms or that kind of structure one wall is partition wall. Editing walls means wall properties such as thickness, material, opening, that we can be modified by the Revit structure. We can add any kind of material that we want. You can add any kind of thickness as you want. You can add the opening. Different types of opening are available, like a vertical opening, biface opening. For the elevators and all, there are shaft openings. As you can use that all the elements. Next one we have seen floors. Floor means what? Floor slab. Like as you know, the main uppermost part of the structural element is a floor slab, which is a horizontal structural element that can be provided stable surface for the walking and to support for the floors. In floors, you can also do a opening by our opening elements. In a slab, for the if you are going for the stairs and elevators to the whole throughout building, you can add a shaft opening. Or if you're opening on any kind of roof or floor, you can also add by opening elements in our Revit. After that, finishes, like if you want to give a tile finish, wood finish, carpet finish, or any kind of structural finish you want to do, you can do in a Revit. Next one is a foundation. Foundation is a part of our substructure of our building. Foundation includes footing. Footing means what? If your depth of the foundation is less, then you can use a shallow foundation, which can be distribute a whole structure's weight throughout the soil. So in footing, you can design a footing, different types of footing like step footing, strap footing, or any kind of footing you can design. Or raft foundation, mat foundation, trapezoidal foundation, rectangular foundation. You can design any kind of foundation in our Revit. After that, piers. If you go for the deep foundation, you can use a piers. Piers supports a building in the areas where the soil conditions are not that much amount of rocky soil is not available whenever you are using piers. So you can make pier cap by family, or you can use a piers cushion foundation. That kind of foundation we can make in a Revit. After that, grade beams, editings are can be done just like editings as previous we can see for the beam, columns, walls. We can do size, depth, material. We can use any kind of material as per our requirement, just like you can use for the foundation. After that, structural framing. In industrial area, we can see that structural framing are available for the trusses or for the garages. That kind of structure have a structural framing. There are two types of structure framing, primary and secondary. The main structural system typically composed of the column, beams and bracings. As in the drawing, you can see column, beam, bracings. They are the structural framing that include trusses like Hove truss, Pratt truss. That kind of trusses are available. After that, we can see the secondary framing. In that, additionally framing elements such as purlins, joists are available, like additional framing, just like for the trusses we can use frames or purlins. There we can add in a Revit. Also we can edit the size, material, connectivity of structural framing, we can do in that. So this for the structure framing. And the end part is that our building designs as per our the loads, like what the loads or what kind of loads are on our building. On that purpose you can design our building. There are different types of load available in our structure, just like a dead load. Dead load means what? That are the permanent loads such as the weight of the building structure itself or the elements which are uh, always in that building to the end of that building. Means what? The structural weight of itself. After dead load, we have to see what is the live load. Live load means living load or the variable load which was according to time or according to the requirement which was changing, just like the equipments, furniture, or the people on the structure. After that, we have to see in that what is the environmental loads. Environmental loads means that are the caused by environmental factors such as wind. Wind load is different for the different areas. Like different areas have different wind pressure, and by wind pressure we can find out the wind load of that area. So we need to consider this one most of the time for the multi-story buildings like that. After that, snow load. In which areas there is a snowy region, we need to consider the snow loads. After the third one is a seismic load. Load means what? The earthquake load. Like in some areas earthquakes are found, so in that area we need to design a earthquake prone building, so that the earthquake load we need to consider. That loads we can get that load information or that loads we can get from IS code, just as a IS 875 part 1 2 3. That kind of parts there are available, and it was beneficial for the loads. After that, load combination is what? There are the different types of load combination for the structural design, such as live load plus dead load plus live load plus wind load, like that. So in that session we have seen different types of load, different types of structural elements, and how the Revit is beneficial to draw that elements or to implement or analyze the structure. Thank you.